Hey guys, welcome back. A while back I bought this threading tool. I'll see if I can show it to you. And I'm not completely sure, but I think this was an eBay find. Probably Chinese made. But I tested it yesterday. It doesn't say where it's manufactured, but I tested it yesterday and it did work very good. As you can see here, I hope you can see that there's some chatter in the threads, and I think the reason there is chatter is that I was mounting it on my ordinary tool holder on my cross slide. So I was just able to feed in and out. And what I need to do today is to make a tool holder so I can fit it on my top slide. That way I can get this 29-degree action, and hopefully it'll even better result. These threads are not bad. It did work very good, but I'm pretty sure that it could be even better. But it is a good fit, and the result is acceptable. But when you want to thread on the lathe, you need to be able to do that in the 29-degree angle. And there are loads of videos on the web about this. So I'm not going to go into why you need to put the top slide at 29 degrees. I'm just going to show you how I'm going to make this holder. And basically I'm going to take this piece of steel that's already been squared up for two sides really, and I'm going to cut it. I'm probably going to go out using my angle grinder because that's the fastest method. And then I'm going to use the shaper to make a slot that this will go in. So basically there's going to be a slot for this, and then it's going to be mounted like that. So we're going to drill a hole and drill and tap some holes for set screws. So that's today's project. We'll start by cutting it, and then we'll go over to the shaper. So that didn't work out at all. The stock did not square up. None of the angles are 90 degrees, and the reason is that the vise I'm using on the shaper is a really crappy one, and I need to get a better one. So I'm going to resort to a method I used to use before I had the shaper. Sorry. And that's my trustworthy fly cutter, which I use on my lathe, and I just put my stock up in the tool post. So we're going to try that out and see how that works. That is looking way better, and I'm just gonna take a measurement, check the squareness and see if we're good enough. Okay, just checking the squareness with my calipers. It looks like I'm within 1/10 of a millimeter, and that's good enough for this project. And these two surfaces are the ones that are critical, since it's gonna stand and it needs to stand flat. So I'm just gonna deburr it, and then we'll put it straight up. Actually, we'll have to take just a little bit more because it's not fitting in the tool holder. So I'm just gonna have to take one more pass, and then we'll just deburr it, and we'll get started on milling the slot. So the top and bottom surfaces are parallel now, and the other ones look reasonably well. So here comes the tricky part. Now I need to work out where the slot should be milled, and I'm going to use this 18mm for flute and mill, and I am going to put it in my chuck. I know some people have very strong feelings that you shouldn't do that. I haven't had any problems with that way of using the lathe for milling. I could of course use my collet chuck. For this, I could of course use a couple of soft jaws, but as I said, I haven't had any problems, so I'm going to continue doing it. And what I need to do now is to work out the center height and how far up on this piece the milled slot will go. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll mill the slot and we'll test it out. Okay, so we're dialed in, and I'm just going to take a real light test cut to see how the cutter's working. Okay, so the guy in the background is just my son trying out my bike, and the test cut seems to be doing good. I'm taking 0.5 millimeter, and I have a speed of 355 and a feed rate of 0.045. That's the lowest my lathe can do. And that's just kind of to test it out. So I'm going to bump the speed rate up now, the feed rate up now. We'll try to double it, 0.09. I think I'm gonna bump up the speed to 560. I'm down again to the lowest feed rate. The cutter seems to like that feed rate a lot better. As you can hear, there's no noises. So I think I'm just gonna continue on that, and we'll try a little bit deeper cut, maybe 1 millimeter next time around. I don't know if you can see that there, but that cutter is leaving a really nice finish. So I'm very happy with the result. So it's just to keep taking 1 millimeter per pass, and we'll knock it down. So just a tapping, and then I think we're done. These are 8mm bolts, metric bolts. And if I remember correctly, I think I have some 8mm set screws laying around somewhere. We could use those. I couldn't find those set screws I was talking about, so I'm gonna have to go buy a couple. It's no big hurry, this will do for now. Okay, so I think we're ready to do some threading. So I don't really have a good thing to thread, so I'm just gonna use this pipe and just make a couple of light passes so you just can see how the tool is working. I'm running at 90 RPMs, and I'll make a 1mm thread. looking good. Copper isn't the most solid material to thread, but just for testing, I think this worked out real well. So I'm gonna give you a couple of close-ups on the holder, and as always, I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, subscribe if you want to, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!